Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to share some tips on buying a home when you are single. Yes girl, you could do it. You got this. So I have purchased 2 homes while being single and 2 homes while being in a relationship, and I just thought I would come and share some tips on my experience doing it by myself. Now I know that some of these tips can of course apply to you regardless of your relationship status, but I want to share my experience specifically. So let's get into it. My first tip is to look for a home that suits your current lifestyle, as in what is happening today. Now that tends to differ greatly from when you are looking for a home as a couple. You tend to look for a home to suit future things that may happen. For example, growing your family, or elderly parents moving in, or a good school system for babies that may eventually grow up, etc. But when you are single, my number one advice to you is to look for a home that suits your current lifestyle. Because you're doing it on your own, you want to make sure that you are satisfying your specific needs today. If things change, you can always deal with it at a later date. In my current situation, for example, when I was house hunting, I knew that I currently lived with 2 roommates, and so I was looking for a home to accommodate my current situation, as in living with 2 roommates. Not what would happen when Keisha and Half moved out, not what would happen if Keisha and Half have babies, not what would happen if I got a second dog. Not what would happen, but what is happening. This is part of the reason why I stopped sharing the homes that I was looking at while I was house hunting, is because everybody had a lot of advice and comments on things that had nothing to do with me. All the what ifs, you know what I mean? Like, Toni, that house has so many stairs. What's gonna happen when you're older? And I'm like, I'm not older. I'm house shopping today. Toni, that house has very little yard space. What if you get Marley a brother and sister? Marley doesn't have a brother and sister. I have 1 dog, 1 14-pound dog, today. So I had to block out all the noise and focus on my now. And my now was making sure that I had a home that I could manage financially and physically as a single person, but would also fit my roommates, because I had 2 roommates currently. So it's very important to block out the noise. All the people who said I should look for a larger home are not trying to pay my property taxes, or are not trying to come over and clean. So don't listen to them, sis. Look for what suits you today. Number 2 is to try to predict your finances. And you would ideally do this before you start the house hunting process, because when you are house hunting on a single income, lenders are going to scrutinize your income even more closely, because you don't have a co-signer or somebody to fall back on. So if you know you're going to be house hunting next year, you might want to start now mapping out your earnings and your savings, etc. Honing in your spending to show like a comfortable savings account, or finding consistent sources of income. If you're a freelancer, for example, you want to make sure that you show that you consistently have money in. And you also want to think about things that are going to affect your credit beforehand. So again, using myself as an example, in my most recent house hunt, after selling my previous home, I knew that I would be going to lenders as a single person, single income. And so I did not want to look at long-term rentals, because long-term rentals hit your credit. As much as I hate my car, I cannot wait to get rid of my car. As much as I hate my car and I had the money for a down payment to get a new car, I did not want to get into any sort of loans, any sort of financing, anything that would affect my amazing credit, might I add. So I thought about all that beforehand, and so I decided to keep my little car that I hate, and I decided to look at short-term rentals that do not hit your credit, and ended up going with Airbnb, and it worked out great for me. Number 3. Now this is very important, I think, whether you're single or in a relationship, but more important when you're single, because you're literally on your own, and that is finding a real estate agent that understands your needs. It is going to make the house hunting process so much less stressful, and it's also going to make the process so much shorter. Nobody wants to spend years house hunting, right? If they truly understand your needs, they're going to be rooting through properties, eliminating ones that are not going to fit you, that they know you have no business looking at. Even if you really want to look at it, shout out to Chuku. I will link him below. He is amazing. He was my real estate agent, and he knew that I had a home-based, product-based business. He knew that I had roommates. He knew that I was single. He knew that I had a little dog. And if I wanted to look at a property that he did not think would fit one of those things, he would be honest about it, say, don't waste your time. If I wanted to look at a property that he thought had too much maintenance, he said, you have one income now, don't waste your time. If he thought that I was looking at a property that would go way over my budget in a bidding war, he would eliminate it. Don't waste your time. Number one, most important, is for them to understand your needs. As a sidebar, also that your personalities mesh / you get along, because you are going to be talking to this person day and night, you know, constantly in and out your home for whatever reason. So it's also important that you get along with them, but more important that they understand your needs. My next tip is to have a support system. When you are coupled up, you automatically have a built-in support system in your partner. When you are alone, you don't. So it's important to build that support system, whether it's a sister or a best friend or a niece. It's important to have that support system when you're viewing these homes to help you keep a unbiased eye, because maybe you find a home that you fall head over heels with that is walking distance from your favorite restaurants and cafes, and you can just visualize yourself in this type of lifestyle in this area, and that makes you overlook the fact that there is no closet space and you happen to be a fashion blogger, you know. So sometimes it's nice to have that unbiased eye with you. Just because you're shopping for yourself doesn't mean that you have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, and you can't bounce ideas and opinions off someone else that you trust. Okay, my last tip is kind of my favorite. As you guys know, I love me a good resale, a good profit margin, you know what I'm saying? So my last tip is to really consider resale value. So it's great to keep in mind, because you don't know what the future has in store for you on your own. You could get a great job offer in a different city and have to move, or you could get into a relationship and outgrow the spot and then have to either sell or lease your property. So you want to make sure that there is potential there. This home, I loved the potential in this home that I ended up with, because I was able to turn it from a 3-bedroom 2-bath into a 4-bedroom 3-bath. Even though I renovated the basement with my specific needs in mind, I still made sure it was flexible enough to work for a potential buyer. So my workspace, if I clear out the desks, put a couch, a TV, and a little coffee table, it becomes a living area. My inventory room, if I clear out all the boxes and add some shelving, it becomes a downstairs pantry / extra storage, which is excellent for resale. So definitely keep that in mind, because in the future your pockets will thank you for it. That's it, you guys. Those are my tips for you if you are looking for a home as a single person. I am by no means an expert, you guys, but sometimes life experience can be just as good of a teacher as a school. So hopefully this helps somebody, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.